Welcome on back, everybody. Wild Willy here with episode 10, I believe, of our Get OP in the DLC walkthrough. We are working on getting our Scadutree Scadutree level up to level 14, like I promised, and our Revered Spirit Ashes is already at level 6, which is what I promised at the beginning of this series. I pulled up the map for a reason. Number one, if I had warped into Pillar Path Waypoint, which is where we're going to start, we would be listening to Egon moaning in the background while I was talking. We have all of the map regions unlocked except for the Abyssal Woods. And we will need to proceed through the Darklight Catacombs in order to be able to reach that. However, there are two regions that we have the map for, but we can't access, and that's Charo's Hidden Grade, this kind of pinky area here, and then the Dragon Peak area, which we can't access because we have to proceed through an area and beat a boss. We have to beat Ancient Dragon Man before we can proceed. So that is what we are going to do. For this dungeon, you either want to have Assassin's Gambit and move quickly, or you need to have a weapon that does holy damage, sacred. So I have taken the Milady, and I have leveled it up. It's now plus 25. That's my showcase weapon from the DLC, and I put Sacred Blade on it. The Ash of War you get back way back at the beginning of the base game. So we're going to put that on. We're going to kill a Deathbird to show it off. And then we are going to get invaded by Ancient Dragon Man.
I am sorry.
All right, so he's down there. That's how we're going to proceed. Let me put on my Sacred plus 25 Milady. We're going to head on out. And like I said, there's a Grave Bird that's going to make itself available for testing. That one right up there. And these things are incredibly weak to holy. As you can see, I just one-shot it. I'm going to change back because we are getting to fight an NPC invader. There are a couple strats with this guy, and there's a couple Great Birds after this. Nothing really of note. So you can go ahead and, buff up, do all your stuff. Do that. I'm gonna wait until he invades before I do Bloodflame Blade. There he comes off in the distance. So he is very susceptible to guard counters, but he's also an NPC invader, so I should be able to use my Ash of War on him. Be difficult. Oh, let's see if I can stagger him out of that. No, I can't. I need to heal. He might, yep, I was just gonna say, he might kill me. He does Dragon Maw. My mistake, bro. Did not have my healing flask on. Unfortunately, the Grace is right behind us, so we can start over again. And that he's gonna be the boss that we fight at the bottom of the Dragon Pit terminus. Alright, well, in the interest of efficiency, I'm just going to stick with Bloodhound's Fang. Take out the Deathbird again so it doesn't get involved in our fight. Hopefully the Deathbird doesn't kill me. Unfortunately, heavy weapon knocked it right out of the air and it's dead. So let's try this again with Ancient Dragon Man. All right, we already did that. Do that. Do that. Overkill because he beat my ass last time. But yeah, that's basically what you need to watch out for with him. Try this again. We're having a poised battle. I'm gonna win that all day. And there we go. Ancient Dragon Man has died. And as a reward, you get basically nothing. You get to just proceed. But that's our little preview. That's our game. The game's way of saying, hey, you might see this again soon. There's one more grave bird, one or two. I'm just gonna run past. Not here for them. I'm gonna go inside here. Dragon's Pit. Now this, like I said, you want to have a weapon that does holy damage. Kills those who live in death. So I am going to switch to my lady. And we're going to proceed. There are going to be some undead beastmen are going to kind of be the main enemies in the dungeon. That one is below us. I'm going to see if I can plunge him. Yep, I can. I'm going to go kill this one now. Proceed along. Let me put on my... Yeah. I was hoping he would give me time to do that. Not very considerate of him. Trying to put on my lantern. Thought I already did that. Sacred Blade incantation. Make sure it doesn't wear off of your weapon. It's going to proceed along and down. There's more to this dungeon than I'm going to show you. We're headed down there. Up, my buff wore out, so... Take this guy out. And then you want to rush down this guy, shooting bolts at you. We want to keep proceeding down. That's an ambush. I'll just show you real quick. When you grab this, a couple guys are going to come up. Them out real quick. And here's the path down again. My buff has expired again. There's one up here that's going to form up. See if I can snipe him before he stands up. Got this one. Shield. And we just want to proceed down. Generally, we just want to go down. Buff. And these are like the same guys that you see in Farum Azula. This is going to do a great job of taking care of them. Leap of Faith. We just want to drop on down. Yee! And I'm going to switch back to my Bloodhound's Fang. That's the boss fall. I think, yeah, there's one little piece of loot. I'm going to switch back to Bloodhound's Fang. Back to our NPC invader. We're done with our undead dudes. Let me refill my flask. Drink that. Eat that. Do that. Do that. Be careful when you go through the fog wall that he's not right on top of you before you summon your mimic. Switch to my healing flask. I think you get a minute with this one. Just gonna panic roll out of the way. Try to let Mimic take aggro before he kills me. Thank you, Mimic. Mimic's like, I got you now. All right, fortunately, there's a Stake America. We can just respawn right down here. And that's what I mean by you got to be careful summoning the mimic right as you get in there. You might have to dodge around a little bit before it's safe to pull the mimic out. Come on. Get this in the right order. Two-hand. Switch to my healing flask. Summon. And run more. And he does have a great katana. So he does do bleed. Watch for the blood loss build up. I think I'm going to go forward in the room, summon the mimic, and then step back. So the mimic spawns in front of me. We'll try that next. Well, I'm gonna obviously have to deal with him before I can summon the mimic. Wasting all my shit. Picking up my 0 runes. That time I got away. All right, so let's just get over here. Hopefully I can get off a heal before he's on top of me. And then I just want to put Mimic between me and him to draw aggro. Come on. Fight the Mimic. All right, want to hopefully stagger him out of that. Now it's just... How you like us now? Give me time to breathe. I'm gonna beat your ass. That's how that fight should go. Just had to stay out of his way enough. And we don't want to take the thing back to the entrance of the dungeon. Actually, want to proceed along through here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, area of the map that we could not access before is available to us. So we're gonna touch the grace. Got some nice runes out of him. Of course, I lost 60,000 from him. So, let's see. I was trying to get more mind. Just want to get my mind up a little bit more. So I can use Sacred Blade more. Going to be important in an upcoming fight. Want to get it up to 95. So I'm going to keep pumping that, and I'm going to go back to pumping Faith. What do I need? 20,000? 18,000? Let's see if I have a rune I can pop. Carrying around all these Shadow Realm runes. Let's see what they're worth. 15, 25, so let's pop one of you. Not enough. I think we're just a little short. 2,000. 500. Probably could have just done the one next to it. Let's try this again. See if we can sneak out one more level. There we go. Yeah, I did go over, but not by a lot. Alright, so let's proceed along. This next section is going to be kind of a lot of running. Getting Sights of Grace. There is kind of a ground loot Scadutree fragment that we can grab. But we just want to get ourselves established in the zone. But at the Jagged Peak, there's going to be some dragons down here that are fighting. For a dragon you can fight. So there are two ways to proceed. That archway over there to the left will take us to the Jagged Peak. And then over there to the right is going to take us over to the Dragon Temple altar and over to the Jarrow's Hidden Grave area. So we're going to proceed over here first. Don't mess with the rams. Rams are not testing dummies. The big ones will hurt. I feel like there might be more undead dudes up at the top. Yep, you can see one up there, so just be aware if something's shooting at you, that's what it is. We're going to pretend they are not there and proceed unmolested. So here we are. And swing in here for Egon's first cookbook. Right over here, there should be a grace. Grand Altar of Dragon Communion. You can talk to her if you want. She's going to give you, you know, more lore and whatnot. Dragon Priestess. We are kind of headed down this way to the south so that we can access Charles' Hidden Grave, and we're going to get a grace. Like right up over here. It's going to be above the one below us on the Cerulean coast. So we're going to enter the zone. We're going to come over here. There's going to be a mariner, but he's going to teleport away. We're going to just ride right past him. What we are after in this zone is, I believe it's either this one or this one. I'm going to have to go and look. I'll pause the video until I find it. There's a hippo that we want to go fight. So we can kill that for a Scadutree fragment. So basically we want to head out that way towards the claw, so kind of southwest. I don't know, I think we have to go up and around still. We're looking for the area with red flowers, where we can get down. It's over there. There we are. Then we can drop on down, and then we want to... Not that way. It's over here to the right. This way. There we go. So like I said, first puddle of water, nothing in it. You can see the mariner showing off in the distance. As soon as we get over to him, he's going to teleport over to his next zone. Next zone, he summons up a Revenant. So I would have heal on so that when you go and engage the mariner over here, you can use heal to stun and then hopefully kill the mariner. But like I said, we are not here for him. We are coming over here for a grace. And then we're going to go look for a hippo. And then we're going to go down. There should be a grace right below us where we enter the zone for the Cerulean coast. You guys might remember when earlier in the walkthrough, when we entered the zone, I was kind of laying you through it. That site of grace, I don't think we can see it, but it's right below us. You'll see it on the map. Once I touch this one, pull the map up, and you'll see like they're basically right on top of each other. There's the Cerulean coast. Here's Charrow's Hidden Grave. All right, so like I said, it's in one of these two ponds, the hippo. Let me go find it, and then I will draw you guys back in for the hippo fight. It's out in the world. You can't summon a mimic, so it'll be a good opportunity for you guys to practice your hippo skills, because there's another one in the Rao Ruins that we can take on as well. So I'll be right back when I've located our hippo. All right, so I'm back, everybody. The hippo is in this pool of water. So the way that you proceed is from the Grace, you're going to ride northwest, kind of through the little archway there, and then you are going to immediately hook a left. There are going to be a lot of those angry pink glowworm dudes. There are going to be some death birds. If you proceed through here, there's like a large death bird you can fight. But there are going to be some, you know, the baby ones that we've been dealing with recently, and there are going to be some undead. And as you proceed along here, there's going to be a Miranda flower, and you go behind the Miranda flower, there's a little loot that you can grab, and you basically hop up and over. And then I had to come all the way over here just to get to a spot where I could not be aggro to anything and pull up the map. So that's that part of it. And there's our hippo. I'm going to stick with Bloodhound Spang. I'm going to hop off. I don't mean to do that, so that I can buff up. And you can, you know, like fight it on foot. I like doing the... I have a horse strat until he kicks me off of it. Keeps me mobile, lets me ride around and heal. So I just kind of want to keep him on my right and circle around him and just beat on him. You want to watch out for that. The belly stomp will like stagger you. And then you can just kind of work off to the side. He's gonna run away and try and fight me and stomp on me, and he's dead. Dead. So that's that. We got our Scadutree fragment. There's a little dude over here I can grab. What's that? Wow. Okay, great. Ghost Flame Bloom. Okay, so now we're gonna head over here. We're gonna head down to the Cerulean Coast. I'm gonna make it morning again, and we are going to ride up. So from the Grace, we're gonna ride kind of southwest and then go west. We're going to go past this stone coffin, and we're going to hook up inside, and this is kind of like a ravine area. And this is where I mentioned in an earlier episode, we're going to fight the demi-human Yoda. Is going to be here for us to fight. We can summon the Mimic, and then we want to work our way up and around over here, and keeping the cliff edge along to our right. And there's going to be a little spot that we can duck into where there's another Scadutree fragment. There's a large demi-human, one of the big ones, but you know, he shouldn't be too much of a concern. This is a lower level area in terms of where we're at now. And then if you proceed all the way out here to where this stone coffin is, there's a demi-human queen and a bunch of them on the beach. You can resummon the Mimic and take them out. But anyway, let's get started. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna mark here, and then I'm going to mark over here, and that's when we know we want to turn north. This is where our demi-human Yoda is going to be, and then we kind of want to work our way along north and then northwest. So I'll put another one like here-ish to get us pointed in the right direction. Well, let's go down here. I'm going to make it morning, and we'll proceed. And then that will wrap up this episode. When we wrap up, I'm going to look at where we're at with Scadutree fragments and Revered Spirit Ash fragments, and talk about what is left. So we have 3. We just used that one to power up. We're at 13. We are 1 away from what I promised, and we just need 3 more. So let's get going. No, please let me stand up. All right, so again, from the Grace, west-southwest. See the dog over there to the left. Not here for him. Get rid of our first mark. These things, when you ride up on them, the little loots that they have are like high-level grave and ghost glove worth. So that's good. That's a grave glove worth. Might need those later for the Gaius fight. Keep heading out west to mark number 2. I think there's more death birds through here. I'm gonna ride past. So I mentioned Gaius. He's the only remembrance boss that we might tackle because he guards 5 Scadutree fragments, and I'll pull him up on the map and show you that. All right, so we are coming up on Demi-Human Yoda. Going to be right up there. You have a couple of different options. There are other minor demi-humans that might get involved in the fight. You can summon your mimic. I'm going to go ahead and do that. He is an kind of NPC invader, so I'm going to see if Mimic will let me sneak over here and see if we can get a backstab on him to start. Since he has an aggroed, and we can. And then we are all over him. He does hop around a lot. And never mind, I'm like talking him up to be dangerous, and we just murdered him. All right, he's a lot more dangerous than he looks. If you let him start running around, he can cause some problems. So like I said, now we're going to proceed off to the north. There are more demi-humans here. We got the angry pink heads as well. There's some explodey ones too. This lets me know that I'm on the right track, and there it is. That's what I'm after. We got the big demi-human in here. We're just gonna ride out and leave. I'm gonna head to the beach like I talked about. We should have time. Ooh, watch out for the little lightning orbs in the water. They can do a lot of damage if you're in the water. Kick you off torrent for sure. All right, so here we are. There's the demi-human queens going down there on the beach, and we have all these guys. I'm going to summon our mimic again, and then I'm going to go buff up and beat her down. That will kind of de-aggro all these guys, so you can just kind of run around and kill them. Get some extra runes. Mimic is already engaged in the fight with these guys. That was a short fight, whatever he was fighting. All right, let's go. Go time. Nope, I'm here for you. And as you can see, just murdering this poor thing. And now they're all coming to get their revenge. Starline sword, that's guaranteed drop. And they'll start groveling. Oop. Your mimic phases out, you can pick up any ground loot. Got a falchion. I believe there's one little bit of loot on this stone coffin fissure behind us. There's some more over there, if memory serves. No loot. Don't go too beyond the rocks. There's nothing, and it's deep water. You'll just fall off and die. I'm up here. Let's see what we got. A great grave glove work. Lovely. That's a +10. All right. So let's warp out of here. We just find someplace safe-ish. Let's just go back to High Roads Cross. We can talk to Letta, proceed with Letta and Hornsense questline in a later episode if you're interested. There's Hornsense, there's Letta. We're just here to talk about remaining Scadutree fragments. So we just got the ones in the Cerulean Coast. We got the one in Charles' Hidden Grave. There's one that we can ride up to on Drake's Peak on our way to Bale. That one's just ground loot. There are 2 guarded by the Golden Hippo at the start of the Shadow Keep. There are 3 more that we can get once we access the Abyssal Wards. There's 2 down here by the map fragment, which we definitely want to do because I promised you I would have all maps unlocked and all areas unlocked. So we got 1 left, so we can get 2 right down here. And then there's 1 more that's going to be like right over here. Basically, when we go through Darklight Catacombs, we're going to come out over here. We're going to be able to come down here, grab a grace, make our way down to the church for another grace. Then we warp back over here. We head due west, and then there's 1 there. And then we're just basically heading northwest, run past some rats. Then we're going to see some Inquisitors. You'll see what those are in a moment. When we go fight the big one at the bottom of the Dark Light Catacombs. And then, you know, just chilling out there, you know, at the base of a tree is another Scadutree fragment that we can grab up. And then what else? There is a hippo in the Rao ruins. And then there's the 1 more that's like on the shiny pothead dude in the Morth ruins where we were running by with the curse blade over here, right over here. We kind of came out here, worked our way down, and he's like right here, and his curse blade buddy is right by him. We went by him over here to grab a Revered Spirit Ash. So we will definitely be able to get to plus 15 with 3 more of those fragments. Actually, we should be able to do it just beating the hippo, riding to the top of Drake's Peak, and then grabbing the one from the Morth Ruins. That'll be 3 more, which will get us to 15. And then we'll still do the Abyssal Woods, which will get us 1 more. And then it's either, you know, you can take out the Golden Hippo or Gaius. And that's where we're going to wrap up the series. So anyway, I went a little longer than I liked on this episode. We're going to close out here, and I'll see you in the next one.